Welcome everybody to the X Factor podcast today. We're welcome to a good Friday here, and we're gonna get right into it. We have major talk here around the wrestling industry. It's gonna be one of the best wrestling weekends of all time. We got NXT Stand Deliver. We got Supercard of Honor for Ring of Honor. We got the Hall of Fame. We got SmackDown. We got Rampage. We got WrestleMania. We got all that in this fucking weekend. Gonna be the best weekend of all time. So let's get right into it here. And we're gonna talk about NXT Stand Deliver. I know I talked about it last week or yesterday, but I want to get, and I know I said who I think is gonna win, but I'm gonna get right into it here. So let us get right into it. To start off, Chase U versus Schism. Like I said, I think if WWE management was really thinking about it, I think if they really think about it, Schism should win. Because of how, because Schism, in my opinion, is better than Chase U. And I think that's pretty much an obvious fact. And, like, out of everyone in Schism, Joe Gacy can easily be a single star. The other two I can't remember. I know one's Reed and the other guy I can't remember his name. And then Ava Rain, they all could be stars. And then Chase U, Andre Chase, Duke Hudson, not really there. Tyler Bate, one of the best NXT stars right now in NXT, and then Ty Hale probably gonna be cut soon, I'm assuming, but if I was WWE management, I would really think about having Schism win and take over. But I do think Chase U is going to take the win here because of Tyler Bate helping them out. So, next matchup, Gallus versus the Creeds versus Tony D'Angelo and Stax Lorenzo. I think Stax and Lorenzo's going to win. And I think Gallus or the Creeds are going to go up to the main roster. Main reason is because of that, because, right now with the WWE tag teams on the main roster, they're lacking quite a few right there. They're lacking tag teams. So, if you look at it, they need people like Creeds or Gallus there to help them. So, I do think they will jump the ship to the main roster. I do think they deserve to be on that main roster spot. So, hell, even Pretty Deadly at some point is going to go up there. So, I think Tony D'Angelo, Stax Lorenzo, boom. I think Fallon Henley and Kiana James versus Alba Fire and Isla Dawn. First off, I'm going to give credit to WWE management here, or creative team, for putting Isla Dawn and Alba Fire together. Those two, they were having a rivalry, but then they became like a tag team, and they have done so well with this tag team, and I just gotta give them credit for that. And right now you see holes with Fallon Henley and Kiana James. That's where I think they lose. So in my opinion, I'd probably have Kaden Carter and Katana Chance be the champions to face them, because that's much more of a bigger story right there. But I like what they're doing here. It's going to be a downfall for them, Ken James and all that, and that's going to hopefully start a rivalry there. It's been one of the best, between them, Fallon Henley, Ken James, it's been one of the best builds since they started it in NXT a couple months ago. I thought they've been building it pretty good with all the drama it's putting in right there. So, but I do think their title reign is going to end here without Alba Fire and Isla Dawn. Grayson Waller, Johnny Gargano, again, another good build going in the Stand and Deliver. Need a way to get it finished. Gargano, I think, is going to end up with the win here. And I think it's going to elevate Grayson Waller up to a next level star. And it isn't an unsanctioned match, so I think it's going to be pretty good. So, the 6-woman ladder match for the NXT Women's title, Lila Valkyrie, Zoe Stark, Roxanne Perez, Gigi Dolan, Tiffany Stratton, and Indy Hartwell. I'm going to go with Tiffany Stratton on this one. I think it's either going to be Tiffany Stratton or Zoe Stark. I'm going between one of them two. because, because I feel like Roxanne's going to lose it because she's going to get overconfident. She's going to lose it to either Tiffany or Zoe Stark. And then she had to build her back way up and win it again. So, that's what I think is going to happen. It's going to be a great matchup. I think it's going to, what's going to be next for all these women after this? Well, Indy Hartwell, I think, should be on the main roster. Tiffany Stratton, Gigi Dolan, Roxanne Perez, Zoe Stark, and Lila Valkyrie, I think, are all going to stay in NXT. But I think Indy Hartwell needs to be in the main roster soon. So, the Fatal 5-Way, Axiom, Ilya Dragunov, Wesley, Jada McDonough, and Dragon Lee. I think Wesley is going to retain the title here at Stand and Deliver. Dragon Lee, I think it's just too soon for him. He just came to the company, so I don't think, him winning the title that early is going to be much a thing that they're thinking about right now. JD and Ilya, I could potentially see that happening. Them two at number 2 again at NXT Battleground, because that is going to be the weekend of Stand and Deliver and or the weekend of Double or Nothing. So I'm going to be able to watch both same night. I'm going to have 2 TVs set up. We're going to be good set up right there. But Ilya Dragunov and JD, and if I was the creative team, I would think about having them two in an Iron Man match. Imagine a 30 to 60 minute banger with them two. That I just think that'd be fucking fantastic all around the board. So, and Axiom, I feel like they could do Axiom and Wesley with a rivalry, because Axiom has been trying to get his spot, or trying to get that title match just 1-on-1. So I feel like if Wesley wins, Axiom will go after him, and I feel like if JD or Ilya win, they'll go after each other. And if Dragon Lee, he's just gonna go on without nothing, pretty much. So, or Wesley and Dragon Lee, if Wesley or Dragon Lee wins. So, that's what I pretty much think for that. And then the main event, Braun Breaker, Carmelo Hayes for the NXT Championship. I do think Carmelo Hayes is gonna end the 360-some day reign of Braun Breaker. He's nearly getting a year. I think it'll be a year this weekend. So it's going to be great to see that. I think Braun Breaker will be on the main roster. So, and Carmelo Hayes is going to lead NXT into their next little future. And I think after he's done with that title, I think he's going to be on the main roster as well. So, that's what I got for Stay and Deliver. We're going to get right into a Supercard of Honor. That's going to be today, 4 o'clock. So, give me a minute here. Alright, we're going to get right into it here. The first match I'm going to look over is the Reach for the Sky ladder match for the AEW, for the Ring of Honor tag titles. They have redesigned them. We do not know what they look like. But it's going to be Aussie Open versus Top Flight versus Lucha Bros versus Roosh. I can't pronounce that name because it's all blurry. And then the Kingdom. I do think the Lucha Bros are going to win that match. I think they're going to win it, and it's going to be a good matchup for all of them. So, Roosh and his partner have a chance to win it. Kingdom definitely does. Aussie Open definitely does, and Top Flight does. But I just feel Lucha Bros, they have a really big shot at winning it. So, it's going to be a good match, and a ladder match. So, next match, I'm going to be looking at El Helio del Vikingo versus Commander for the AAA World title. That is going to be freaking amazing. So we're going to get right into it here. It's going to be a great match for the AAA title. Potentially could go on for like a 20-minute match, maybe. But I do think El Helio del Vikingo will win the match. I think he'll retain his title. So, the Embassy versus AR Fox, Blake Christian, and Malik, or Matalik, used to be Grand Matalik. I do think the Embassy will lose because there's been rumors about Brian Cage leaving AEW and all that. I do think Brian Cage will go to WWE. And for how big he is, how muscle-wise he is, he's amazing. Like, he is really good. And imagine some of the matches he can have with like Bobby or Braun, potentially Roman. I think it'd be great for them. So I do think the MC will lose. Wheeler Yuta versus Shibata for the Pure Championship. And all I gotta say is the Pure Championship is probably one of my favorite championships in Ring of Honor, maybe in the whole wrestling industry. Based off what they do, well, yeah, you have to put, there's like, you see what time's on there, you have to like, there's a limit of like counts on the ropes or whatever, rope breaks. And like, it's pure wrestling at its best. And that's what I like. I like wrestling at its best. And that's one reason why I watch AEW so much. It's because, in WWE, it's all about entertainment and all that. AEW, they bring professional wrestling. And they call themselves professional wrestlers. They do all this stuff. And that's just what I think. And that's why I like watching AEW all the time. But I do think Wheeler Yuta is going to retain the title, giving him a big push onto the next level that I think he should be on. So, Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Daniel Garcia. I think Daniel Garcia is going to lose. It's going to be a great match. Like I said, a lot of these matches will be great. I've seen a couple of these guys in New Japan. I've seen a couple New Japan matches. I'm not huge into it. So, seeing a lot of these New Japan guys coming in, it's going to be fun to watch. Because I know what they can do. I've seen some of the matches, so I know what they can do. And what those two matches with Shibata and Garcia and Tanahashi and Wheeler Yuta and all them four right there, they're both going to have good matches. So, it's going to be great. Samoa Joe versus Mark Briscoe for the World Television title. I do think Mark Briscoe's going to beat Samoa Joe. I think we're going to have an upset here. I think Mark Briscoe's going to start his singles run as a champion. And I think it's going to be a great start for him. Rebuild himself. Rebuild himself after what happened to his brother and everything. And just get on and just try to live life as best as he can. But we're going to get right into it here with the main event. Claudio Castagnoli versus Eddie Kingston for the Ring of Honor title. I do think Eddie Kingston will win the Ring of Honor title. I don't know if he's ever won it before. So if he's never won before, I do think this is the time for him to win it. So, Claudio, I think they're gonna let him go on Dynamite and all that with the Combat Club and all that and do their thing. So, the match card looks amazing. So, let's get right into the WrestleMania card here. Alright, so we're going to get on here with the first night of WrestleMania. And we're going to start off with our first showcase match for the men's. Braun Strowman, Ricochet, Street Profits, Alpha Academy, Viking Raiders. There's going to be two ways this could either go. This is going to be one of those matches no one cares about and it's boring. Or it's going to be a match that people care just a little bit about, and it's going to be really amazing. I do think, because I know like they like to put in random matches on WrestleMania, but I think this could potentially lead up to something. I think it could potentially lead up to a title match with either the Usos or Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens down the future. But if you look at all these tag teams, all of them have a great shot of going for a tag title shot. And I do mean Viking Raiders should at least get a title shot sometime down the future. As much as people don't care about them, they're all right. They're not that bad. So, but I do think this is where the Street Profits come in. And if Sami Zayn and the if Sami Zayn and Kevin does win, and like they don't want to defend both belts, I think this could potentially be the next champions. So I do think the Street Profits win. I think Alpha Academy implodes. I think Braun Strowman and Ricochet, they're going to keep getting their little build-up. And then the Viking Raiders, they're just going to still be the Viking Raiders. So, Dominic Mysterio versus Rey Mysterio. And one of the best builds that we've had for months now. It's going to be a great matchup. Two luchadors. Well, Dominic, but Still, going to be a great matchup. I think Ray is going to win here. Getting the beating. Dom's going to get the beating that he deserves. So, and I think Dominic is going to go on a big push after WrestleMania. So, Seth Rollins versus Logan Paul. I think there's no way Seth loses this match. If Seth loses this match, then I don't know what the hell they're doing anymore. Because this would be like the 4th WrestleMania match that he would lose. So, or like 4th in a row. So, I do think Logan Paul will lose and Seth will win. And it's going to be a great matchup, though. Underrated matchup. Becky Lynch versus Lita and Trish Stratus versus Damage Control. Something that's been really awkwardly built up so far. I think Lita and them will win, but I think Trish will turn on Becky and Lita, becoming the old Trish. Heel Trish is always best Trish. That's what I tell myself. So, this match is going to be an underwhelming match, kind of. It's going to be alright, but, not one of the best matches, but it's going to be there, so. Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley for the SmackDown Women's title. Another match, another thing that has been built up well. And I've been seeing on a couple people's podcasts that they've been saying that they should have let Dom, just talk for Rhea. But yeah, I think Dom's also working for fucking Ray here. You gotta have, like, Rhea's gonna have to do a couple things on her own. Like, Dom ain't coming in and wrestling for Rhea. So, but, the promos they've had have been alright. Some of Charlotte's promos have been weird. And I think it's because of just the baby face that she's being right now. But I think Rhea Ripley ends up with the win. Getting her destiny over the legacy. So, it's John Cena versus Austin Theory. Another matchup with another not really good build-up. They only had one altercation with each other, and like Cena cooked him, and Theory hasn't even had a chance to get back up. I don't know. I think to be one of the most probably. I think to be a disappointing match. I really think it's gonna be disappointing because everyone's expecting this good matchup from both Theory and Cena. Expects Cena to be back up to his old self. And plus, they already announced it to be the first match of the card, so it's either Cena is going to have a quick match and he leaves, or Cena has a pretty long match and they have a banger match and Cena stays. I'm hoping it's the long match and Cena stays, because if it's a short match, it's not going to be good. I'm sorry. I'm not feeling it. But last summer, when I was feeling like the SummerSlam vibe, I'm like, wow, let's go. But then, WrestleMania comes around and they do all this build-up for it, and I'm like, I'm not really feeling it. It might change during WrestleMania weekend. Not 100% sure, but it is what it is. And then the Usos versus Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens for the ununified tag team titles. I do think, and this is what to do with Cody and Roman too. So I'm gonna do my prediction with these guys, but it's gonna be a little weird here. If the Usos win, Roman wins. If Sami and Kevin win, Cody Rhodes will win. So whoever wins this match, I'm going for. So if the Usos win, I'm going for Roman. If the Sami and Kevin win, I'm going for Cody. So just letting y'all know. I would like to see Sami and Kevin win. But all I gotta say is whoever wins this match, the main event's gonna be the same story too. So, but I do think Sami and Kevin will be new tag champions, and I think Cody Rhodes will be the new world champion. So, but if the Usos lose, I change my. If the Usos do end up winning, I do think Roman wins. So I'm not gonna go in a video and say, oh, I make a different prediction. Just letting you fans know. If the Usos win, Roman, I'm going with Roman. I'm changing my pick to Roman. So, let's get into night 2 here. The women's showcase match: Liv Morgan, Raquel versus Natalya and Shotzi versus Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler versus Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green. Um, a bunch of tag teams that have just been added up randomly. Um, I feel like a couple of them make sense though, but whether this leads up to a women's title tag title match, I don't know. I don't know if this is just to put people on the card, but I do think Liv and Raquel. Actually, I'm gonna go with Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville. Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville are gonna go end up with the win. I think them two as a tag team will be built up amazing. And I don't know what the hell's happened with Carmella, but I'm hoping she comes back soon. So, but I do think Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green win the win. Brock Lesnar versus Omos. Opus Sapiens now rise. I am going with. I gotta go. As much as I want to go with Omos, I feel like Brock's gonna win. I think I'm gonna go with Brock Lesnar here. I think Brock wins, and I think he retires from WWE, and he's done. It's gonna be an alright match. It's gonna be a short match, so I do think Brock's gonna win. Finn Balor, Edge, Hell in a Cell. Finally, gonna be an end to this Judgment Day Edge rivalry that we've been listening to for the past year. It's been built good throughout the last year or so. So, finally seeing an ending to it. I think the ending should have been Edge and Damian Priest, because them two are the ones who started this whole thing together. But Edge and Finn, I love seeing Demon Finn Balor, so. But I do think Edge will end up with the win here. Finally getting his little revenge for everything and going on to the future. Gunther, Sheamus, and Drew McIntyre for the Intercontinental title, and I don't think there's any chance Gunther loses the title. I think Gunther stays champion. I think Gunther will stay champion for at least another pay-per-view. I think he'll probably lose it at Backlash. What or who, I don't know. But I think he'll probably lose it at Backlash and win probably King of the Ring. I do have Gunther winning King of the Ring this year if he's in the King of the Ring tournament. But if he's in the King of the Ring tournament, I already got my pick. It's going to be Gunther. King Gunther sounds pretty fucking good, though. But I do have Gunther winning. The only way I have Gunther losing is if Sheamus or Drew pin each other. I don't think Gunther will be pinned. If Gunther loses, he will not be pinned. So that's pretty much what I got for that. Bianca versus Asuka. Really poor build up to what they're coming up to. But I do think to be a good match. A lot of these matches have been poorly built. I think most of them will probably have good matches. But I think Asuka will defeat Bianca Belair. God damn, I'm already dying. I'm dying. It's official. But the one thing I don't like is how all of it's not been built big. But like I have dealt with this with watching AEW sometimes and not having like the best build up to something and having a match. And AEW is really what has gotten me the patience for things. Like, AEW's really gotten me the patience for story, like, the build-up stories. Because you gotta wait till the pay-per-view, so it's like, every week you gotta, like, slow everything down. Because, their pay-per-view's, like, once every couple months. So, like, it's like, you have to have patience, and that's something that I've learned to have now with wrestling since been watching AEW, so. But, Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes, I already said if the Usos win, I am changing my pick to Roman, but I do think we will have a new WWE Undisputed Universal Heavyweight Champion. And the boy who dreamed has come true. And no, I'm not talking about Shawn Michaels. I'm talking about Cody Rhodes. The people that have been saying that Roman needs to win to reach 1,000 days and that Cody needs to struggle more, what else does that man need to struggle with? Because let me give you a timeline here. 2014, 2015, he becomes Stardust, right? 2015, his dad dies. 2016, he gets released or he leaves the company. From 2017 on, he's having to build his way up back. He's been building his way to be the main event caliber guy that he thought would be in WWE. And the minute he gets that opportunity, he goes back to WWE. He has his little run with Seth Rollins, the torn pec issue. He wrestled with a torn pec. 7-8 months off of for wrestling to repair that and heal. Come back at the Rumble, win the Rumble, and now he has to go through the entire bloodline. What other struggle does this man need? And I'm telling you, when it comes to this, every good story always has to come to an end. And I feel like this is where Roman's big reign ends this weekend. I think it will end. And if it doesn't end, like, who else are you supposed to, like, have him face? Bobby, I feel like with Bobby, you know, they need to at least build him back up just a little bit more to get back to where he used to be with world title comparisons. Drew McIntyre, he's doing all this stuff with the Intercontinental title. Sheamus, he's doing all this stuff with the Intercontinental title. Gunther's the Intercontinental champion. And everyone wants Sami Zayn, but you gotta realize, him and Kevin, they're probably gonna be tag champions. So why have Roman keep holding these titles when he's just going to run out opponents to face? He has faced nearly everybody in the company. Besides Bobby and Sheamus and Gunther. You know, and I get why everyone wants Seth to take it, which I kind of agree. I would like to see Seth dethrone him, but, you know, you got to think about it. Cody Rhodes, man, he's been itching at this opportunity. And I know they have too, but I think Cody Rhodes deserves it more than what they do right now. And after Cody Rhodes happens, you don't get Cody. I bet you Cody Rhodes ain't gonna hold the title for 3 years. So after Cody Rhodes wins, we're gonna see more champions throughout the years coming out. We're not gonna have one of those big reigns like Roman has. I don't think we're ever gonna get a reign like Roman's ever again. Even with Triple H being at creative. I don't think we're gonna have that ever again. And if we do, damn, it's gonna be pretty magical. But, and you know, they need someone that's there every week. Someone who's there every day. Roman ain't there every day. Roman ain't there every week. I would rather have a champion there every week than show up twice every month. And cut a promo for 5 seconds and leave. Because that's what him and MJF pretty much do. They just pretty much talk and leave, talk and leave, talk and leave. I don't give a damn if you're a fucking big attraction. If you're a big fucking Kenny Omega's a big attraction. Look, he's wrestled 2 weeks in a row now. Cody Rhodes, he's wrestled nearly every week since he came back. I don't give a damn how big of an attraction you are. If you're the world champion, you need to be at least showing up at every week. Build your stuff up. But that's pretty much what I got for today. I'm not going to do any talking until Monday when I review all these matches and give you my personal thoughts. By the way, currently I've been doing my stuff on TikTok for predictions. And right now my pay-per-view predictions is 19-6 so far just this year with AEW and WWE. I'm hoping with the 3 pay-per-views we got going on this weekend, I'm hoping I get skyrocket stuff here. So, great talking with y'all. Have a great WrestleMania weekend. Do what you want, pretty much. All I know is I'm gonna feel like a fat piece of shit going into Monday, though. Not like I'm already am, but that's what I'm going to feel like going into Monday, because I'm going to have a good weekend. So, alright, have a good weekend, everybody. Talk to you later.